Arsenal did not stumble into first. They clocked in early, claimed the keys and switched on the lights. 10 played, 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 25 points, 18 scored, only 3 conceded. Goal difference plus 15, 6 points clear of second-placed City. That is not luck, that is standards. The twist is not one superhero, it's range. Goals from everywhere, so when one star calls, the graph keeps moving. They used to call Arsenal soft, pretty possessions, nervous endings, leads that leaked. Now it is firm football, space managed, pulse is steady, pressure turned into points. But here's the part the table cannot show. This used to be the team people mocked as soft, pretty shapes, late stumbles, nerves you could hear. That version met a new philosophy: structure over chaos, accountability over noise. Footballers' choices repeated under stress until they become belief. The players know exactly what is expected, and they carry it like a promise. Behind it sits permanence, prime-age defenders locked in, a backline that treats panic like a rumour and turns clean sheets into routine. The crowd feels it too. Emirates is tuned for pressure and patience, not just volume. This is culture turned into points. Football as a code. Structure first, accountability daily, the same clear choice repeated under stress until it becomes instinct. And now comes the stretch that exposes pretenders. November is the X-ray. December and January are the storm. Stack clean sheets, catch the set pieces, manage the flat days, and a hot start becomes a hard era. We will ask what you think, and we want to hear it. Our read is simple. If this clarity survives the festive traffic, this is the season Arsenal finish the job. You can feel the weight of 2004 in this stadium. It sits on scarves and memories. The difference now is the pulse. They breathe when it gets loud. They count when it gets messy. Then they strike. Arsenal sit on top of a wobbly mountain with grown-up footing. 10 played, 25 points, 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. It is not vibes, it is volume. October was spotless. 6 games, 6 wins, 0 conceded. Just 1 shot on target faced all month. That is not a cute stat. It is a new line in English football history. The first top-flight side to win 6 in a single month without conceding. The table looks like a spreadsheet, but the feeling is something else entirely. A team that learned pain, banked it, and now spends it wisely. Zoom out and the race looks unfamiliar. City are second on 19 with 3 league defeats, still 6 behind and searching for rhythm. Liverpool have steadied after 4 straight losses but remain 7 back in third, proof that momentum can return without erasing damage. Bournemouth sit 4th on 18. 5th and 6th are London rivals Tottenham and Chelsea on 17, dangerous but inconsistent. Translation: the usual giants blinked, the ladder shuffled, and Arsenal earned breathing room by refusing to exhale. Context changes every week, the code does not. So where does that leave the Gunners? Ahead but not finished. The next 8 weeks are football's truth serum. November is the X-ray, December is the storm. Champions do not win every week. They survive their flat days and control the noise. This is where philosophy meets nerve, where set pieces and clean sheets become mentality rather than numbers. After 3 seasons of almost, this is the corridor that tests whether almost has become always. The door is open, the question is simple: walk through without looking back. Now let us face the elephant in the room. Can Arsenal actually finish the job this season? Here is the landscape. Title races are decided by math as much as magic. Most champions land in the high 80s to low 90s. You do not need perfection, you need persistence. This year, the traditional heavyweights have stuttered, which hints at a slightly lower ceiling. If Arsenal keep turning weekends into small, boring wins, the arithmetic favours them. What complicates belief is the scar tissue. Since 2004, every supporter has worn that date like a watch. Under Arteta, they twice ran the marathon in lane 1, only to be outkicked near the tape. That history made the soft label stick, and it made optimism feel expensive. The contrast matters here. The team that once flinched is now built to breathe, count, and close. The near misses did not break them, they filled them. Each setback turned into a rule they keep. Football as philosophy is the bridge: structure over chaos, accountability over noise. Choices repeated under stress until they become instinct. That is how tactics turn into temperament, and how temperament turns into points. It is not louder football, it is clearer football, and clarity travels in bad weather. The calendar is the next honest critic. November is the X-ray, December and early January are the stress test. European nights, cup ties, and a festive pile-up will squeeze recovery and demand rotation discipline. If Arsenal navigate that corridor without turning wins into draws, belief hardens from mood into math. So, can they? The answer is not one blockbuster performance, it is stacking ordinary ones. Champions survived their flat days with 3 points and their chaotic days with 1. Keep the pulse low when fixtures get fast, when legs get heavy, when rivals finally find rhythm, and the table bends your way. If the league really trends toward high 80s winning it, then consistency, not a 100-point fantasy, is the path through the open door. In other words, it is there, not handed to them, there to be taken. Our read is simple. Pass November and December with the same clarity, and this is the season Arsenal finally finish the job. Do you feel it too? Arsenal's season is not being won by flair alone, it is being locked down by the defence and then unlocked by deadly precision. Think of it like a classic Mourinho fortress, only this fortress scores too. The backline does not just hold, it hunts, and it has turned fear into routine. Start with the redemption beat. This used to be the team accused of soft centres and late nerves. Now the philosophy is simple and ruthless. Structure over chaos. Accountability every day. Footballers' choices repeated under stress until they become instinct. That is why panic feels like a rumour around David Raya, Jurrien Timber, William Saliba, Gabriel and Ricardo Calafiori. They compress space, deny shots, reduce quality and make 3 goals conceded in 9 look like a personality, not a phase. Then the switch that wins tight leagues. Set pieces are not a side quest, they are the plan that travels. Arsenal have turned dead balls into living threats with 11 of 16 league goals arriving from corners, free kicks and penalties. Declan Rice bends deliveries with a master curler's calm, and Gabriel attacks the air like a bruiser built for contact. When open play closes, Arsenal choose stillness and choreography. Corners become conclusions. Low blocks dig in and Arsenal digs in deeper than cash. This is the blueprint. Defence as fortress, set pieces as automatic, belief as fuel. If open play dries, it does not matter because the alternatives are calibrated. The defenders are not only preventing losses, they are generating wins. That is the transformation from nearly to convincing, from noise to clarity. Keep this edge through the storm months, and the same habits that suffocate opponents will finish the job for Arsenal this season. Philosophy is not slogans here. It is habits that travel in bad weather. Here we are at the edge of the first big test, November and December. For Arsenal, this stretch is not just fixtures, it is the chapter where philosophy meets nerve. Games stack, bodies ache, choices under stress become identity. This is where the soft label finally dies or tries to come back to life. Look at the road ahead. Tottenham and Chelsea light the fuse in November, then comes December's conveyor belt of League, Cups and Europe. Every result in these weeks is more than 3 points. It is a statement that the culture Arteta built can sprint and manage a marathon at the same time. Structure over chaos, accountability over noise. Football as repeated choices until belief becomes muscle memory. If they slip here, the old ghost whispers so close again. But if they carry the clean sheets, cash the set pieces and manage the flat days, the season turns from hope into history you can underline. This team has learned from failure, turned ridicule into ritual, and replaced emotion with exactness. That is why it feels different. The defenders set the temperature, the habits travel in bad weather, and the margins belong to them. So, here is the question for you. Do you believe this is the moment Arsenal finally finish the job, with November and December as the launch pad rather than the trap? Tell us where the title is really won this winter. Away on a cold midweek, or at home when the anxiety hums. Our read is simple. If they keep this clarity through the festive traffic, this is the year they close the book. Your turn.